Good evening, I'm Pallavi Ghosh, and it's been a day of complete drama in Maharashtra, in Mumbai today. There were 10 hours of raids where the Enforcement Directorate officials had entered the residence of Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut, picked up some documents and also detained him. He has since then been taken to the ED office where he's going to be further questioned, and this is in the Patra Chawl land scam. The ED has raided Raut's home after he skipped multiple summons, twice at least. Sanjay Raut is under the ED lens in connection with the money laundering case, which has been linked to alleged irregularities in the redevelopment of the Patra Chawl in Mumbai. However, the Shiv Sena member of parliament has categorically denied any wrongdoing, and he alleged that he was in fact being targeted because of political vendetta, as he was the only one who has been questioning the BJP. Let's listen in to Sanjay Raut, and then I'm going to go across to my colleagues on the ground.
शिवसेना इतकी कमजोर नाही आहे. खरी शिवसेना काय आहे हे आज तुम्ही पाहताय. मेरे खिलाफ जिस प्रकार से झूठी कार्रवाई, झूठे कागज, झूठे एविडेंस लोगों को मार मार कर पीट कर बनाए जा रहे हैं, ये सिर्फ महाराष्ट्र को कमजोर करने के लिए, शिवसेना को कमजोर करने के लिए. लेकिन शिवसेना कमजोर नहीं होगी, महाराष्ट्र कमजोर नहीं होगा. दूसरी बात, संजय राउत झुकेगा नहीं, ना पार्टी छोड़ेगा, ना शिवसेना छोड़ेगा.
Vinay is just outside the ED office. Jai Maharashtra, Shiv Sena chhodenge nahi, and I have come here to be arrested. Very, very defiant Sanjay Raut. So Vinay, we also heard what his brother had to say. We are waiting for an official word on whether he's been actually arrested. But Vinay, politically, how is it going to be playing it out for all our viewers who've just joined in?
Well, politically, Pallavi, this is likely to snowball into a larger political story. But if you look at the cautious reactions that have come today, we haven't seen a single tweet from Uddhav Thackeray till now. We haven't seen a single tweet by Aditya Thackeray till now. Only Arvind Sawant spoke quite vociferously in support of Sanjay Raut. Kishori Pednekar spoke out. But otherwise, things have been quiet, apart from one of the statements that came out of Uddhav Thackeray's, where he has said that this is political vendetta. We haven't seen much of an action either. So right now, the Shiv Sena seems to be in a fix on whether it should look at the internal factionalism as a more important issue than the one that is coming ahead right now. So as of now, politically, we have seen the Congress speak against it. We have seen reactions coming in from the NCP as well. Though interestingly, Ajit Pawar, who was the former Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, gave a kind of a confusing statement saying only Raut will be in an authoritative position to say why the ED is investigating him, because the central agencies have the authority to investigate any individual in the country if they have any evidence against them. So in some sense, the messaging seems to be quite jumbled in that sense, and we aren't really seeing much of the Shiv Sena on the streets talking about it. Firstly, there's a vertical split within the Sena. 40 MLAs have already gone with Eknath Shinde. This will help the Shiv Sena build up a narrative saying that all those who haven't gone are being pressurized with ED and central agencies, because that is exactly what Raut had been saying all this while, that there has been tremendous pressure on him for changing sides, for switching from one side to another, for changing loyalties, and still he will continue to be with the Sena. So in some sense, the narrative that if you do not switch over sides, then there will be an issue, then there is likely action against you from the central agencies. This narrative they will definitely try to build on from now on. But right now it seems like there is some some confusion, because apart from the protest, the massive protest that we saw outside Sanjay Raut's house itself, where Homan was present, we haven't seen any massive protest in most of the parts. So there was one protest in Kolhapur. We saw one protest at Hutatma Chowk in Mumbai, which was anyway called against the governor's statement against Marathi Manus. So in some sense, we aren't seeing many top leaders of the Shiv Sena here. The police have also cordoned off the area. They're trying to maintain law and order situation here. But right now, it seems like the Shiv Sena is confused about what its priority should be, because just a while ago, a word that came from Uddhav Thackeray was that he has appointed new party persons and party officials from Thane district. So the focus clearly seems to be different. Thane is the home constituency of CM Eknath Shinde. There has been a lot of jumping from the fence from here to there. And so in that sense, the priority seems to be different. But in terms of the political messaging, this is quite clear. And Sanjay Raut has spoken explicitly about it, that it is your loyalty which they want to change. If you do not change it, then this is an effort to finish off the Marathi Manus, and the Shiv Sena will not take kindly to it. So clearly, Pallavi, that is the political messaging that the Shiv Sena will try to build from here on, the narrative that it will try to build. There will barely be any scope or legroom for the Eknath Shinde group to speak against it as of now, because there are several statements on record that have come from the BJP leaders against even those MLAs who have jumped fences against whom action was initiated. But we are told Sanjay Raut may not be the only one. We are told that somebody else from the Shiv Sena ranks, a senior leader, might also be in line next. And that is likely a narrative that will continue to be built up by the Shiv Sena in the coming future as well.
Okay. So, Vinaya, as you've been reporting, the biggest challenge really for the Shiv Sena, as the Uddhav Thackeray faction, is to keep the flock together. When these kind of incidents takes place, when the arrest of one of the most aggressive faces takes place, it can go either which way. And Uddhav Thackeray did make a reference to that, and many of my people are scared, and some of those who've gone to the BJP are only because they are scared. You think that's going to be the next task ahead for the Thackerays, to ensure that the party remains in their grip?
Well, if anything, this is not helping the party stay in Uddhav Thackeray's grip, Pallavi, because there seems to be a growing fear among those who continue to stick on to Uddhav Thackeray that there might be action against them. And so, while there will be a victim card, and while that is exactly why the Eknath Shinde camp seems to be steering off clear from the Uddhav Thackeray group, primarily because they feel that a sympathy wave is building up for Uddhav Thackeray, but they also count on the fact that by the time elections come, it will be a long time till then, and that
okay, Vinaya, I'm sorry I have to interrupt you here. I'm being joined by the Shiv Sena MP, Priyanka Chaturvedi, also now joining us.